What up, what up? It is Sanni here. I know it's been a while since I did a video, but I've just been watching a lot of Twitch and whatnot, but I still have been watching anime. I just haven't really been like reviewing it, so it was pretty much like going I was watching it, but I really wasn't like analyzing it and whatnot, but I am back for good. And since it's been a while, I've been watching One Punch Man, Diamond No Ace, and Black Clover because they all come out on the same day, and I'm happy that they decided to make those animes come out on the same day, because I hate it when you watch one good anime then you gotta wait 2 days for the next one and 2 days for the next one. When it's like this, it's great. So Diamond No Ace, they just pretty much practicing all of that, and it's really like nothing major, and they haven't like the four freshmen are like going to be joining in the practicing of what the third years are doing, or the pretty much the first string team, to see if they can handle being on that first string team and whatnot. So because they have like some tournament coming up, but they only have 2 spots, so they have to choose who they want for that, and it's really like nothing too interesting. But for Diamond No Ace, how they always have Furia as like the main pitcher and whatnot, so I'm really hoping that Samarua, I'm always saying his name freaking every time I say it fast, I get it wrong. Hoping they have him be more of a part of pitching, even though they've been going the Furia route or something. Like, I don't know if something's going to happen to him or whatnot, but we'll see for that. But for Black Clover now, they was having their Magic Elite Nights exams or whatnot, and just pretty much tournaments and all of that was going through, and Asta was able to do his demon form twice, even though he said in the beginning he was only able to do it once. I guess he was hiding the fact because he wanted to save it for but he couldn't because he had to fight Lengus, and he beat him, but then he passed out at the same time. So then it was pretty much versus the captain of the Aqua Deer. Yeah, and there was pretty much was saving some magical power where he combined with his spirit and he gets super powerful and whatnot, and he had to fight the captain like that. And now Asta is like down in the dumps because he's seen that got even stronger, even though he got stronger himself. But now has passed him in strength, so now he's got to do even more. But what I think is, since I don't read the manga, that Asta can control more of that demon form, because I remember when they was going against the Queen Witch, I believe he was more like covered in it, as opposed to right there when he controls it itself, it's like half. So I'm assuming like once he has more control over it, that he gets stronger and stronger, and it doesn't like fade after like one magic attack or whatever one attack that he does. So hopefully it goes that route, and he just continues to be stronger in that aspect. And then the other one was just One Punch Man, and this was the tournament, and I feel like they really stretched out the tournament, because it could have really been done in one episode, but they made it like 3 or 4 episodes for this tournament, just so we could see Saitama progress in the tournament and whatnot. And then he won the tournament, but he didn't win because he had a wig on, and the wig flew off, and they said that's disqualification, because you can't wear any type of costumes or anything of that sort. And I just think it's kind of weird because it's just a wig. But yeah, so he got found out, then he ran, and then we're gonna see how that rolls out, because there are monsters attacking the city. So I'm assuming he's gonna go help, because Genos already went to go help, and I really don't know what happened to him. Like, one of his arms are already messed up from attacking some of the monsters, so he might have to save Genos again, like always, because it seems always that's the case. Like, every time Genos gets beat up, Saitama comes out of nowhere, and then he just helps him, and so, just like that. But on another note, I have been recently watching a lot of Twitch streamers and whatnot, and I got into the Grand Theft Auto roleplay. Well, I tried to get into it pretty much. So it was like I was watching like all the streamers do their roleplay and whatnot, and I was like, hey, that's cool. Maybe I could do that. I mean, I do a couple voices myself, because I'll watch a couple streamers, and some of the streamers don't even change their voice. They like use their normal voice. Like, I seen some, like a girl who plays as a guy, but she doesn't change her voice to make it sound like a guy. She doesn't even make it deeper. It's just a very, very high pitched guy, but I really like see that as a guy because granted, there are guys that have very high pitched voices, but you could still know that it's a girl. There's like no way to like mask it. At least if you're gonna do that, like use a voice changer or something. Don't just like go with your simple voice. That's my pet peeve about roleplay. If you're gonna roleplay, at least do a different voice, or if you're gonna do a voice, be the gender of that voice. Because granted, it is roleplay, but you're supposed to immerse your fans into thinking that's what that character sounds like. That's what that character is supposed to be like, as opposed to guy's body, girl's voice. I mean, come on now. But there are some people who use voice changer very well, and there's some people that know how to like change their voice out of nowhere. So I mean, I have a lot of respect for people that can actually do that, because it takes a lot of work to actually find the perfect voice for the character that you're playing and whatnot. So anyways, I decided to try to apply for a couple of different roleplay servers, because you could play in the public servers, but there's also servers you can get whitelisted in. So I tried to do that, and they had like some very weird questions in order to get whitelisted. Like apparently you can't it can't evolve. They want you like to write a story about your character, and it can't involve a dead relative, drugs, or going to jail, or anything that's like typical of a criminal. So I thought that was kind of weird, because the role play I was going for was criminal, because you can either be criminal, EMS, or cop, and then for the cop you can also be a lawyer. So it was like those pretty much qualifications or whatnot or whatever. So I went for criminal, and then I was thinking like, the questions they ask, it doesn't really help if you're trying to become a criminal, because pretty much criminals become criminals because something happened in their life, a dead relative or something like that. They say be creative, but how much creative can you be? As for a criminal, it's always some dark past that happened to them that made them become a criminal. And it just made no sense, because I did just check, and apparently I got denied for like the story I did. I mean, granted, it did have the stuff they say they didn't want in there, but as a criminal, there really wasn't much I could have done. It was just like dumb. If I was trying to become a cop or an EMS or a lawyer, that would have been, those questions would have made way more sense. But becoming a criminal, those questions make no sense whatsoever. So I think for people, when they make these questions, they should like change it for whatever occupation you're going for. So if you're going for a criminal, you have to make it those questions specifically for a criminal, and so on if you're trying to be a cop or a lawyer or EMS. That would make more sense, as opposed to general questions that pretty much cast out one of the groups, which is criminal. I was like, okay, so now I gotta come up with another story for the criminal, which I mean, granted, I can come up with stories, but it's just more of a hassle that I gotta create all these different personas in order to freaking get accepted, when a criminal is someone who's either was born in the hood or something like that, or maybe they was like rich and they thought the hood life was good, so they decided to come down there and blah blah blah. So it's pretty much all generic stuff to become a criminal, which I guess they don't want generic stuff, but I mean, even in the movies they're all generic. So how do you want somebody to be creative when even in real life it's generic? How people become criminals? You grew up in the hood, you turn to the life of gains and whatnot. You don't have a father figure or what like that, and it just happens. But they don't want that. They want it to be more creative as to role play. But role play is supposed to be real life, correct? So why are you saying this wouldn't actually happen when it would actually happen in role play in real life? So that was just my take on that. But I am still going to try to apply, but we'll see how long that takes. I mean, eventually after a couple of times, if I don't get accepted, I'll just stop and find another server and so on and so forth. But that's all of my 2 cents on all of that whatnot. But I am going to be going back to watching the anime and whatnot, and I will keep you updated on this role play stuff to see if I can actually get in and whatnot. But that is all for this. This is Sanni saying sayonara.